Hey everybody, welcome back. A little bit of a change of scenery. I'm going to be vlogging from my bedroom today, and the reason is I'm going to a show tonight. There were a lot of emotions that came up. I'm going to be seeing a band, Korine, tonight, and they're playing on Long Island, and that's what made me have all of those emotions, because back in the day, a lot of people never really associated Long Island as part of New York, but Long Island is obviously a part of New York and has always been back in the 90s at least, a mecca of goth. It was like, it was a really big kind of figment in the subculture. We had a lot of shows, a lot of venues to where people would come out to the city, and over the years that kind of stopped, which is sad, but I miss those times because those are like a big part of my memories. So when I first got involved in it, the hell is this? So when I first got involved in the goth subculture, I was living on Long Island. I'm originally from Queens, but moved out to Long Island as I got a little bit older. And when I first got involved in the subculture, a lot of the things that I went to initially before I was able to go into the city were all on Long Island. And there was just so many amazing things to do. And I've seen so many great bands out here as well. And I'm starting to see, as the subculture, I'm sure all of you are noticing that there's a big sort of surge in bands. I mean, there's like a million new bands coming out. They're all amazing. There are shows, there are venues. And as this is happening, I'm noticing that suddenly Long Island is kind of getting put back on the map again, which is amazing because it kind of got a little bit yeehaw for a little while. It still is, but we can bring it back. So one of the major bands that I remember seeing when I was, I want to say 15, is The Cure. I saw them at Madison Square Garden, and it was the most beautiful, beautiful show. It was, I remember that they had this huge sheet at the back of the stage behind the band as they performed, and on this sheet was a fan, and the fan was just sort of like blowing the sheet, and the sheet was billowing, and they had the lights on it, and of course like they're playing songs from Disintegration, and my heart is just melting. And these are the memories that just keep me going. And seeing Long Island start to be like on the up again, it makes me happy, because Manhattan, they're thriving. Brooklyn, Queens, they're doing their thing. But now it's hit Long Island, and that's kind of a marker to where like, okay, yeah, things are doing well. To me, the band Korine is indicative of what I think synth pop should be. And synth pop, I feel like, is a continuation of 80s new wave. And you know, it has this very specific feeling. And that feeling to me is, it's summertime, you're 16 years old, you're driving around with your friends and you have a crush, and you're listening to the Psychedelic Furs on the radio with the windows down, and you're just daydreaming about your crush. And there are certain bands and certain songs that can bring that feeling, and Korine is one of those bands. And a lot of modern synth pop, if they pass that like 16-year-old with a crush test, I feel like that's kind of doing it right, if that makes sense. I'm weird though. So since this is a goth channel, I know a lot of you are probably going to ask, but are they goth? And they are something that I would probably say is goth adjacent. And goth adjacent means that we will welcome you with open arms, and we play you in the clubs and everything. But is it stereotypically goth? Does it fall under the umbrella? No. But you have no problem playing it side by side with other goth songs or on the same dance floor, because it meshes. They're cohesive. In the same way that when we would go to goth nights back when I was younger, up until today, that you hear new wave being spun. It's like, what difference is you're suddenly, one second you're hearing the Wake, the next second you're hearing the Human League. So it somehow it goes together, it ties in, and it's the same sort of template. I feel like it just fits that criteria. And the reason that I'm mentioning genre of music is so it's helpful for you to find these bands when you want to, or find a sound if you're looking for it. So for example, you hear Korine and you're like, wow, I love this, I'm obsessed with this, I need more bands that are like this. So it pushes you kind of down that rabbit hole, and when you know either the genre or at least the adjacent genre of what they are, it's going to help you find more bands like that and kind of cultivate your entire world, your existence. And music really is that. It is part and parcel with who we are. We have a song that kind of goes with nearly every memory. And I know that I do. Whenever I don't realize it until I start really recounting, and I'm like, why am I associating this song with this memory? It's because it was on in the background. Or when we talked about a crazy story as friends driving around at night as we're teenagers. We were listening to the Psychedelic Furs a lot. We were listening to Echo and the Bunnymen, The Cure, Depeche Mode. We listened to a lot of like 80s new wave, that kind of thing. And we listened to goth as well, but new wave was also a huge part of that, which is why you'll notice that a lot of people from New York, particularly Long Island, I can't fully speak for the city, but Long Island will have a very strong fondness and connection to 80s and new wave music. Tonight's event is just very much stereotypical Long Island to me, and the way it was back in the day. And the reason is there was just a very cohesive nature about all the different genres we listened to. Now, goth was always the mainstay. That was the big one. That was the mainstay. And in, I want to say, the late 90s, early 2000s is when suddenly we went absolute synth pop crazy, and you would hear a lot of it everywhere, and it became another sort of genre that was incorporated with goth music. But goth, synth pop, new wave, all of these things came together at a club on the dance floor on Long Island, and it's something that hasn't kind of happened in a very long time, but it's happening again. And tonight's show is a perfect example of that, because first we have Lost in Echoes, which is a Bauhaus tribute band that's playing with Korine. So it just speaks to that kind of eclectic nature of Long Island and the goth scene here, and I'm hoping that it's coming on the same track that it was back in the day, because it was so much fun. It was fun. So as far as the girly stuff, I don't actually know what I'm wearing yet. My makeup is somewhat done. I'm thinking of doing some things out on the side here, but my lipstick, if you're curious, is Black Moon Cosmetics Deranged. And whenever I talk and talk and talk, my lipstick wears away. Because, like it or not, whether I'm willing to admit it, it's because I'm technically eating my lipstick. Fortunately, it doesn't taste bad. Get that stuff back on my face. Another kind of holy grail item here that I'm going to be putting on my face tonight, because hydration is very important, is this is Japanese Curel. So it's Curel and it's intensive moisture spray, and it's if you want hardcore hydrated skin, because if you have dehydrated skin, remember, dehydrated skin is not the same as dry skin. Dehydrated skin is a skin condition, dry skin is a skin type, and one is lacking water, the other one is lacking oil. If you're lacking water, you are dehydrated, and this is a moisturizer suspended in oil, so it's like best of all the things. I don't know why this just turned into a beauty ad. I am not sponsored by Curel. I just want to help you. I want to help you find music and skincare. How are we looking? So what they promise, because this is a very coveted thing in both Korea and Japan, is what they're calling glazed donut skin. And I don't know about glazed donut skin, but whenever I hear that, I legitimately just want a glazed donut in and around my mouth. Where the venue is actually is across the street from like a donut shop, which I'm very excited about, because if they're open, that place is done. If they have gluten-free donuts. Since we're in my room, I feel like I should be showing you things, like kind of what's local. But the nail polish I used, it is Sally Hansen Miracle Gel. I don't know if you've ever seen, I use a blue one too, because I love the color blue, but of course, can't go wrong with black. What foundation did I use? I used a mixture. Ready for this? So the first one is Kojendo. And just to kind of highlight certain areas is LA Girl, and yes, that is the actual color, where I just went kind of here, 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 just to give your face some dimension, because I have a flat disc of a face that requires a little bit of, and just so you can see me, because you get me in a club and I'm just gonna blend in with the wall. Sans boobies. I can show you what's under my bed. Right under my side of the bed, they're Halloween magazines. So I collect all the Halloween magazines that come out, because they have really interesting projects in here to, for home decor. It's Halloween decor, but they're pretty ingenious things that you can just incorporate into your daily life. So I always find some interesting things in here, and then one day, should I become a mother, we're gonna be doing all of these projects together. Another thing I can show you, which hopefully is like a useful hack for you. This is not my usual bag when I kind of just on my day-to-day, but it's a small backpack that I bust out on club and concert nights. And the reason is it's a small backpack, it's nothing huge that sticks out, and so you can wander around, do your thing, go to the bathroom, dance, while this little thing is on your back and it's holding your money, your keys, and anything else that you could possibly need. I don't know, candy. I do take candy to clubs. I have a problem. I got about an hour until I need to be out the door, and I feel like I've effectively talked your ear off enough, so I'm going to finish getting ready, and I'm going to get out the door and get you guys to the event, and I hope you enjoy. See you in a few minutes. I just got home, put my pajamas on, I'm getting ready to wash my makeup off, and I'm having this eternal conundrum. Do I eat? I never eat after 8 p.m., but I'm starving right now. So I went and I poured myself a bowl of cereal. It's like a tentative bowl of cereal because I didn't put milk in it. So I have a bowl of Cocoa Pebbles just dry sitting there in the kitchen waiting for me, and I'm waiting to decide, do I have the bowl of cereal or do I not? It's like Schrodinger's cereal, kind of. My dog has to go out. He needs to go to the bathroom before bed. And I am still kind of amped from the evening because the show was really good. The band was really good. Korine was amazing. And I need to wind down and fall asleep. But I'm still finding... I'm going to go see what's wrong. Good night. You need a towel?
Yeah.
Good night.